This show is brought to you by NMDC Group.
Saudi's July merchandise exports dropped 34.9%, and its petrochemical sector profit forecast to drop 67% this year. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi's merchandise exports dropped by 34.9% year-on-year in July due to depleting oil shipments. Total exports for July reached $24.3 billion, down from $37.3 billion in July 2022. The decline was once again caused by falling oil exports, which tumbled 37.9% year-on-year to just $18.7 billion in July. Non-oil exports also continued to drop in July, plunging by 22.1% year-on-year to $5.6 billion. Meanwhile, Saudi's petrochemical sector profit is forecast to drop 67% this year to $2.7 billion. That's according to Al Jazeera Capital, which says profit is expected to rise again in 2024 by 130% to $6.13 billion as economic recovery in the sector sets in. The sector's gross profit margin is likely to contract to 16.6% in 2023 from 22.5% in 2021, impacted by lower product spreads. However, it forecasts gross profit margins will expand to 21.5% in 2024. Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani says he's meeting with dozens of American companies to boost investment in his country's gas sector. In an interview with Bloomberg, al-Sudani said his government is serious about investment in gas and aims to be an active and powerful player in the gas market. He said he met with U.S. firms operating in Kurdistan that want to expand into the rest of Iraq. His government is also working on agreements with Emirati and Chinese companies. Egypt is reportedly in talks with an Abu Dhabi-based bank for a loan facility that would finance wheat purchases from Kazakhstan. The move could give Egypt a cheap alternative to grain from Russia. Russia has supplied Egypt with wheat since last year, but recently blocked a deal for a purchase below an unofficial price floor for wheat purchases. Talks are in early stages, with negotiations taking place over the price and quantities of wheat, as well as the value of the loan. UAE-based Zero Carbon Ventures has raised $5 million in seed funding from Emirati businessman and Dubai ruling family member Sheikh Ahmed Mana Khalifa Al Maktoum. The funding will support the company in delivering decarbonization projects and accelerate its efforts for global sustainability initiatives on a broader scale. The company invests in and applies innovative technologies to tackle waste and pollution. Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin and other best-selling fiction writers have filed a class action lawsuit against OpenAI. They're accusing the tech startup of violating their copyrights to fuel its generative AI chatbot, ChatGPT. The Authors Guild, an organization representing writers, accused OpenAI of using their books without permission to train ChatGPT's large language models. OpenAI has relied on mountains of text found online to power its chatbot, but has not specified exactly which sites and writings have been used. And that brings us to today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, where tech heavyweights are our biggest losers today. Topping the list is Alphabet's Larry Page. He's down $3.3 billion and now has net wealth of $112.4 billion. Our second biggest loser today is his counterpart, Sergey Brin. He's down $3.1 billion with net wealth of $107.9 billion. And our third place loser is Elon Musk, down $2.8 billion, now with net wealth of $261.4 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And staying with Musk, he says Neuralinks brain implants could help protect humanity from the risks of AI. Musk made the comments as his company prepares to launch its first in-human trials for the chips that may restore lost functions to people with paralysis. Musk says the implantable tech will allow humans to interact with computers with their thoughts alone and should improve our abilities to communicate with AI. And fully driverless robo-taxis have started to operate in Beijing, with tech giant Baidu launching the vehicles. Such vehicles have already been on the road in China for several years, but until now in Beijing, a driver was present to take over the wheel when required. The vehicles are limited to a specific area on the outskirts of the city. They can be remotely controlled should the need arise. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
This show is brought to you by NMDC Group.